let's just sew whatever. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be making this binder cover from Sincerely Jen Pattern Company. This is the Trapped in the Unit binder cover. I had so much fun making this. I decided to do some chain stitch and it doesn't look great, but it looks like a third grader wrote it and it matches my hair, so I'm here for it. But this is a really cool, fairly quick pattern. It is raw edges. If you wanted to, you could edge coat all of this. I think if you were to add a seam allowance to some of the pieces, you're just going to add too much bulk. So I would say use a thinner vinyl if you can. I used waterproof canvas and vinyl, but it's a little bit thick. But we've got a slip pocket here, pen holders there, a zippered pocket. This is an accordion pocket, so I wouldn't recommend using waterproof canvas for this unless you're going to fold over that raw edge. I just didn't even think about it. And then if you wanted to, you could fold the raw edge down of that one, but again, it's going to create more bulk. This holds a 1-inch binder. You can see that's where it slides in. And then it's got a zippered compartment that's closed off fully right there. I love it. It's so cute. If you are going to add any sort of embellishment, let's say you wanted to add some custom embroidery or an applique or something, you would want to do it between 5.5 and 10.5 inches on the side where your interfacing is on the exterior panel, or you could do it on the zipper pocket flap, so the opposite side. So you either have 5.5 to 10.5 or the last 5 inches of that piece where you can add some embellishments. Other than that, everything seems to line up really nicely. My binder is empty, so there's tons of room for growth. Yeah, it was super fun to make. I hope you grab this pattern and sew it along with me. All right, we are going to get started by adding our zipper pulls to our zipper tape. So I have a 7 3/4 inches piece of zipper tape. This is going to be the inside zipper pocket. Sorry if you can hear Dorothy, she should be napping, but she hasn't fallen asleep yet. So I'm using a smaller zipper pull, not size obviously, but nothing too giant for this. I believe that one is from Level Up Hardware. It's one of the mice from Cinderella. And then I'm using a D-ring zipper pull. I think this one is from Zorelle, for the outermost zipper. Get a clean edge. Because I figure I can add my little strip from the zipper pocket to that zipper pull. So I figured that will work perfectly. So you can see it's a welded D-ring, so there's no chance of it coming undone or pulling apart once your bag is made and in use. All right, now we are going to attach our smaller zipper to this zipper box. I'm going to use some double-sided tape so it doesn't shift. She is fine. I just went to check on her. She'd broken her binky, but then I took her baby doll away because she doesn't sleep with toys, you know? She'll say she'll sleep with a toy, but she'll just play with it. Girl, you need a nap. Girl, I need a nap. All right, so I took the tape off of one side. Oh, all right, cool. I was like, I probably should check that I'm centering it okay, but I did. Yay. I am using a glitter vinyl that is available on my website. It's the Baja 0. If you ordered the original Baja color, This is a little bit bluer than the other. And of course it's named after Baja Blast from Taco Bell. So it kind of looks like the diet version, or their Baja Zero. So in case you're wondering where the name came from. But these do have a microfiber backing that's really, really soft. You can see the texture there. I love it. But it can drag on your machine if you're pressing down too hard. So there is a small learning curve to it. And then for domestics, in small doses. I was also thinking this little zipper pocket could be a really fun place for a woven label or cork tag, like just a flat sew-on label. Could be really cute here. Right, she is laying down. If you really wanted to line this pocket, you could use like a heat and bond on your vinyl so that you don't see the raw edge of your vinyl. And then if there's any extra zipper tape showing along the sides, you can trim it or use your lighter just to make sure it doesn't fray away over time. I'm trying to think if I have any fun labels. I guess I could do a cut and sewn by hand. Like, what do I like? I don't even know. Maybe a cosmic cork. I'll skip it. I'm not sure if I'll actually use this or not. I don't use a binder, but I really wanted to make one. Okay, so we've got that. And now we want to grab the front cover accordion pocket, which I actually cut out of waterproof canvas because I didn't have enough vinyl. So I am reading the instructions as I go. So with the front cover accordion pocket, right side up, measure up from the bottom edge. And what I'm gonna do is take a little piece of double-sided tape. Of course, you could use an erasable marking pen to mark this out, but I love double-sided tape. Okay, up from the bottom edge. And this should go centered over that. And then we're going to top stitch all the way around. My stitch length is set to about 4.5 for all of this. Bobbin got me. Luckily I'm using a top stitching thread that like matches beautifully, so nobody's gonna know. So if for any reason you're not sure that that is going to stay securely, you could do a second row of top stitching about 1/8 of an inch from the existing, but this seems good. I'm gonna unzip my zipper about halfway so that it's just completely out of the way. It's not gonna hurt anybody. I'm gonna find that little slip pocket piece. So cute. This would also be a really good one to add that woven label to. This one would probably be better, I think, maybe. I don't know. All right. If you wanted to, so that the top edge wasn't raw, I feel like you could fold it down and top stitch. If you really, really, really wanted to, could fold that down about 1/8 of an inch. But this goes the interior slip pocket right side up, aligning the bottom edge with the top left edge of the interior zipper pocket. The left edge should line up with the left edge of the interior zipper pocket. Peel off both pieces of tape. So this piece is 5 wide and 5.5 tall. So it goes the 5.5 inches is the height. So it's the 5.5 inch edge lining up against this edge. I'm giving it a little bit of breathing room. I didn't want it right up next to it. Okay, yep, looks good. So I'm going to, I'm gonna back stitch there. Come down and around. Kind of thinking I might do like a big square U shape to top stitch this. So like I'm gonna leave my needle in, I'm gonna go over 1 stitch, back stitch, come forward again, and then come down. So it makes my slip pocket like 1/8 of an inch smaller, but it's adding 2 lines of stitching so that it's secure over time. Right, so I'm going at the top and I'm going to back stitch twice to close off that like boxed U shape stitching, which you can see better on this back side here, which you could absolutely do to the zipper pocket too. Now I feel a little bit better about sliding things in and out of that over time. Alrighty, so now we're going to flip that over, looking good, with the wrong side of the front cover accordion panel right side up. Well, with the wrong side of it face up. Measure and mark a line that is 1 1/4 inches up from the bottom edge, which I shouldn't have said out loud. I always try not to say the measurements. Boop. And then you're going to mark another one above that. And repeat that on the other side. And for all of this, you want to use a non-fraying material. Okay, so now we're going to flip that over and put right sides together along the first marked line. And you're going to top stitch through that edge with right sides together. So you folded it on that line and we are top stitching. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. And according to my measurements, that fold should be just under the zipper pocket we attached. And then I just did a tiny little back stitch at the start and stop. Okay. And now we're going to fold those top stitched lines toward the wrong side and line them up with the other line we marked. So I've got it wrong side up and I'm folding this up to meet the other line we made. I'm just going to add a little clip to the tippity top of that. And then we're going to top stitch along that fold, making sure we fold the rest of our fabric out of the way. So it's making like accordion, a cargo pocket sort of. So folding all my other layers out of the way. And we're about 1/4 of an inch from the pocket we added. Just gonna go nice and slow. To create that pocket. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I don't know why it's so cute, but it is. All right, so then this gets folded up to meet the line creasing. You want to flip the other flap, the underside of your flap out of the way. Make a nice crease. And that's what we are top stitching on top of. And you're only sewing through 2 layers of fabric, just that fold. Everything else is out of the way. Okay. And then we're gonna add some fold over elastic, which I need to get out. All right, so for this part, we just need a 4.5 inch wide piece. And then on the right side of the 4.5 inch piece of elastic, measure and mark the lines shown to the left. So this needs to be erasable. I have this air erasing one, but I don't know if it'll show up. So I may, oh, it does show up. I'm just making little marks so that I know where they are. All right, place the left side of the elastic 1/4 of an inch, top aligned. Top stitch along the first 1/4 inch line of elastic. Okay. So what we want to do, we've got this at about 1/4 inch from the other side. You're going to top stitch. Should that be folded over so it's not raw? I'm going to just, yeah, zap that with a lighter. Much better. Okay. So we're going to top stitch the first line. And then you're going to bring the elastic up that line that we made to create this loop, so that 1 inch mark is going to take up 1/2 inch of space. So I've got my little tick mark at 1/2 inch, and I'm folding the elastic up and out of the way. I'm going to leave my bobbin thread in as it is and just sew again. And then we're going to repeat. So I've got my ruler lined up. Oh, I can't zoom in. I'll try to edit and zoom in. And then I'm going to make a loop with the elastic to bring that little tick mark 1/2 inch in. Making sure these stay straight as possible. Okay, and then we'll repeat that again. So I'm lining up my ruler. It's at the 1/2 inch line, and I'm making a loop to bring that 1 inch mark to the end of my ruler, which makes the loop take up 1/2 inch of space. And then we just have one more to do, and we're going to leave 1/4 inch off to the edge, which is the mark we made. Yeah. So now I just have a bunch of little jump threads that I'm going to trim away, but I'm going to keep them on the back. And if you want to, you can just snip and pull your threads through the back. But I'm just trimming away little jump threads. And now you've got little writing utensil holders. I don't know why it's so cute. I love that like hot, bright pop of pink. Mine is not quite as straight as it should be, but it doesn't matter. Nobody is required to be. All right, so now I think this gets added to the front cover interior. And I didn't name my pieces. So that is the 9 1/4. Yeah, it's the shorter vinyl piece. Oh. It's a little bigger than it should be. I wonder if it's crooked. Well, it is crooked, but that's 9 3/4. I'm gonna go recut this. All right, so this gets centered onto this piece. I have a little bit of overhang, and I think it's because my vinyl isn't quite the right height, but I think it'll be okay. I plan on kind of taking a rotary cutter to trim everything nice and even. So I'm gonna clip this along the top and bottom in place so it doesn't shift. And we're only going to sew down the left side. Through all those layers. I'm gonna back stitch at the beginning and the end. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's so cute, and I love that like the waterproof canvas I used pops through this little zipper pocket. Got our slip pocket here. All right. All right. So now we're gonna set this aside, and we're gonna grab the big old piece, exterior main, and the back cover interior. Ooh. Big. So it should be 1/2 inch in. Okay, so I'm going to fuse this into place. This goes on the back cover interior and the exterior main. If you are using a directional fabric, make sure you're putting it on the left side of your vinyl for the back cover interior and the right side on the back cover, no, the exterior main, sorry. Right side of the exterior main, left side of the back cover interior, if your print is directional. All right, so truly the hardest part is done. That interior slip pocket. I've got Decaville Heavy, and I'm gonna use the press and stick interfacing from Fabric Therapy, peel and stick. Just because I didn't want to use that much Decaville Heavy. So 1/2 inch from that edge. And then you can use a seam roller or what have you to just apply some even pressure. And then on the wrong side of the back cover interior, we're gonna apply one of our magnetic snaps, and I would recommend using the thin snaps for this. I do carry these on my website. I'm sure other people do too. Well, I know other people do too. But we're gonna follow the measurements given in the pattern. Grab my washers. Seam ripper. I hardly know her. All right, so And then just be really careful where those magnetic snaps are going. You could probably use 14mm magnets for this too, if you wanted to do riveted magnets for it instead or something like that. Okay. So pretty. Okay, so I think we're gonna need the back or the exterior main and our lining pieces, our zipper, and our zipper tabs. We're gonna start by adding our zipper tabs to our zipper. I'm grabbing my lighter and just taking a quick to that edge. I'm gonna grab some double-sided tape. So these tabs are really little and they are meant to be raw edge tabs. If you're going to use any kind of fraying fabric for this, don't interface it, and if you can help it, use a thinner vinyl. I know this is going to be pretty bulky. Just centering this over the end of my zipper. I'm going to fold this over and top stitch. Okay, place the zipper with zipper tabs attached face down on the right side of back cover interior. Never mind. This gets attached to the piece with the snaps. My bad, yo. Okay. This is why you should read ahead instead of reading as you sew. I'm gonna use a little piece of double-sided tape to hold my zipper down. The zipper should be going up to the top. So got my snaps facing up, my zipper is facing up, and we're gonna center this along that panel. Let's see. It's about 3/8 from each edge. I'm starting it. Ow, ow, ow. Oh. Okay. So since I use double-sided tape, I don't necessarily need to sew that down. I'm gonna go ahead and grab another piece of double-sided tape to add the lining, and then I'll sew all of that together. when I was looking at this, I was like, oh, I bet it would be really fun to add like some applique to the front panel or an embroidery. So I'm gonna figure out where would be the best place for that once it's all together. Give you some measurements. So this should be like the exact same size as your zipper panel and in from the edges. You don't want it lined up or you'll see it from the other side. So we're gonna sew just along the lining fabric. If you sew all the way, I don't think it's really gonna matter because we're gonna top stitch that anyway. I'm just going to sew along that. And then we're gonna fold the lining and back cover, wrong side together, and top stitch along the zipper only, yeah. So yeah, only top stitch the length of your zipper. Pressing down, and you shouldn't be sewing through any interfacing on this part. You should be like right next to it. And then I'm pulling my threads to the back, trimming. Oh my God. I don't understand why it's so cute so far. Like, it's so cute. All right. So we're gonna repeat and attach the other side of the zipper to the exterior main and the other lining. But we want it to be the side that does not have interfacing attached. No. So we're going to line those up. Flip this. I'm going to flip this. I'm going to grab my double-sided tape. Don't leave home without it. And the reason we're not adding it to the side with the interfacing is because our snaps go on the other side so that it folds around to meet. And then make sure the width of your vinyl is lined up nicely. And then we'll add the other lining piece. Lining should be touching right sides together. And then if you need to, you can unzip your zipper as you get close to the top of it. So we're going to fold this open, press, and fold this open and press. And if you don't think you got close enough to your zipper, you can fold your exterior up away from where you've attached already and kind of fake that you got closer than you really did. So as I'm sewing this, I'm rolling it back over top the zipper tape. Because I got a little, I wasn't too close. I wasn't quite close enough. All right, and then we're getting towards the zipper tab. So we will backstitch. And I'm not adding my zipper pull vinyl to the zipper just yet because I want it to be as low profile as possible and to just stay out of the way. So we're going to place the two lining panels right sides together and sew around the three sides of the lining panel. So, like this. And we're just going to get as close as possible to all of that as we can. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to start with bottom. I don't know. My vinyl is really kind of thick, so I worry about that. So yeah, I'm going to sew the bottom together first and work from there. I'm gonna sew my way in. We're gonna close this whole thing, like we're gonna flip it back into the binder, so I'm not worried about getting as close as possible right here because it will be closed off anyway. So on this side, I'm gonna sew in and get as close as I can. Again, if I had a bit thinner vinyl, I think I would fare better. Okay, so now we will fold that in. And those should be lined up. Looks good. And then we're going to stitch a few lines. 4 inches over from the zipper. And so we're just going to sew a few lines from each other. Looks like a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1/4 of an inch apart. So I am just going to sew this first one, and then I'm going to move away from that to go around the others. All right, so I'm keeping my needle in. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to stitch one line over. This is totally not necessary. I'm just doing it. And then I'm going to come up from that. I have rainbow thread in my bobbin. So if these lines aren't straight, we're all going to know. All right, So I don't know if I've explained that little trick that I do when I reach over to my reverse lever and use my hand. And I don't think this is really a trick you can use on a machine with a needle positioner. Maybe it is. But I am making it so I stop sewing exactly where I want it to. All right, so here is line 3. I'm gonna stop, go on over, come back up. But I can use the reverse lever to make the needle stop where I want it to go. And then I'm gonna back stitch. So hopefully this looks cool. Oh, it does. It does look cool. Because it's like a consistent snake of stitching. Consistent snake stitching. That's what we're all here for, right? All right, so now on the right side of the exterior main, which is the opposite side that we've sewn, we're going to add our magnetic snaps. Okay, just the other piece. Cool. So, if you're gonna add any kind of like name here or something, maybe you'd want to add it here to this zippered flap, which would be the exterior main on the side opposite of your interfacing. Otherwise, I would say you could customize it 5.5 inches to 10.5 inches on the left side of your exterior main. So hopefully that helps if you were wanting to do that. You might even be able to heat transfer vinyl it after the fact, or you could get to this part, you could embroider. Maybe I want to chain stitch. Maybe we will, because you got to do it before you add the other part. So I'll add my snaps and then we'll see how we're feeling. I really should be taking a nap. Okay, so this one gets moved in like that. And my chain stitch, if you have not seen it, is or was the pink machine behind me. Not anymore. It's a different pink machine. But that one is a freehand embroidery. It's a vintage chain stitch machine that I bought because initially I had hoped to like embroider vinyl and leather, kind of like thread painting. But life got away from me. So maybe I'll add my name to it or something. That'll be fun. And then I'll have to carry a binder now. Ow. I did not hurt myself that bad. Okay. Okay. And then you add the exterior main. You lay this in place over this. And then it says you sew just this side. I don't quite understand why you wouldn't be able to sew the vinyl that's just by itself raw edged. So I'm gonna start on this side, come all the way down, come up, over, and then you could take it to your cutting table and take a straight edge rotary and clean up any rough edges. But I think what I'm gonna do is kind of clip this right now in place to see where these line up. Oh my god, it's so cute. Yeah, I'm definitely going to chain stitch. I think I'll just chain stitch like Lauren on there, but yeah, you've got just a couple inches underneath, or I should say on the opposite side of the flap that you can play with, or you could do it to the flap piece if you wanted. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, so this is my vintage chain stitch machine. I did have it custom painted. I have a video on this machine, but it is a Singer. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Sometimes I'll like trace out what I want to do, but I think, yeah, I just do better when it's free-handed. I don't know. Maybe I don't, and I'm just thinking I do. All right, holding onto my thread to start, and we're just gonna go for it. There we go. Control it down here. This little handful. It's not the best I've ever done, but it's very third grade and I'm here for it. So I'm just gonna add my last name initial to help even it out. And then you want to make sure when you're pulling the piece off of the machine that you're very careful not to pull your stitches out. And then there's a little trick to tying it off on the back side to pull through to secure it, because it's literally just a chain stitch, so it can be pulled away. I love it. It matches my hair. Okay, now that we've wasted about 30 minutes, I'm gonna get my life together really quick. You want to make sure you have plenty of room so your fabric doesn't bunch or buckle through any of this. Plenty of clips, plenty of bobbin thread. Lay this open and then lay your other piece for this side into place, lining up the edges. I don't know that tape would help a lot in this case. If you decided to add any embellishments or embroidery, etc., make sure you cover it adequately. Okay, good. I was like, I really think what I embroidered isn't going to be in the right place. But here's what we have. Our zipper is over here. We've got our magnetic snaps. This becomes a slip pocket for the binder to go inside of. And technically this is a slip pocket too. I didn't really think about that. I should have covered that edge, folded that edge over a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to sew in a complete U shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this right side, pressing that zipper tab out of the way. I have a feeling that because my vinyl is pretty thick, I'm going to have a rough time sewing right next to it, but we'll make it work. I'm going to backstitch and then hold all my layers together. We're going to sew all the way around. I have my stitch length set to about 4.5. I'm going to come straight down. I'm going to backstitch over that slip pocket because that will have a lot of use. Well, possibly, you never know. Come down. And then you do not want to be sewing through the accordion part of your pocket, your slip pocket, because that's going to defeat the purpose of all the work you did to make it an accordion slip pocket. I love it. Sorry for my outburst. And this side's really easy to sew because all of those layers were sewn together initially anyway. And we'll finish her off. Yeah. Well, it's a little messed up on this side. I'm just going to bring my stitching down a little ways on this piece. It'll be fine. It's for me. I've already ruined it. So if you're worried about it being super perfect, I would suggest using double-sided tape to help you hold those raw edges together, and then trimming and then sewing it all together. I think that would be a smart plan, but I'm going to trim this really quick. You can see where I kind of messed up. You can see the lining side of that. The other side looks pretty good. But yeah, I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and clean it all up. And then the binder that you're putting in it, I should say, has to go in each side at the same time to comfortably fit. So we're going to kind of start one side, fold this up the other. So you can see there kind of how I'm doing it. Oh my god, it's incredible. And then flatten your binder. You should have all your pages, etc. as needed here. You've got your pen slots, a little divider, full zipper, this cargoed pocket. So I guess had I read that that was like a slip pocket, I would have folded the edge of my waterproof canvas over, or maybe added a little binding. It'll work, but it's a little thin. But had I used this vinyl, it would have been way too thick. But then we can close this up and snap this shut. There is room for the magnetic snaps to sit if it's full, really full. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's so 4th grade, I love it. 4th grade, 3rd grade, whatever. So there is my terrible chain stitching. I could pull this out very easily, and then you could just use heat transfer vinyl and press something on it or whatever if you wanted. But we still have to add this little fun doodad. So all we're gonna do is slip this through that D-ring. You can use double-sided tape. You could sew it together. I'm going to use double-sided tape and a rivet and call it a day. You could add a few rivets if you wanted. Or glue. Glue would probably work best. I'm actually not sure how well it'll hold with just this lighter weight double-sided tape, but it's for me. I don't care. But you do have to add a rivet unless you're gluing it. But even still, I would probably do both. And then you see you've got this really nice matching zipper that isn't too ostentatious or anything like that.